about getting to the frog. I don't know what I've said in the past. I can't remember that far back, but obviously we're talking about the frog. Now I'm going to try and give you a few different levels of information. So for the beginners, there'll be one level and so on. So if some of this is new, or if some of this is old information, if you stick around, maybe you'll hear something different. First of all, beginners, very beginners, you don't need to even be getting to the frog yet. Control of the bow so that it's staying parallel to the bridge is the most important thing. So I want you to stay in the middle third of the bow until you've mastered that. Then you can eventually start to broaden the stroke while making sure you stay parallel to the bridge without your contact points sliding all over the place. You can practice in front of a mirror watching it, or you can stare at your contact point. But if I say to a student, you're not getting to the frog ever, which is really common. You know, most students will get to about here, and that's about as far down as they'll go. And when I ask them to pay attention to it, then sometimes they can fix it instantly or immediately, but sometimes it takes a little more work. So if you're just starting to use more bow, and I say start at the frog, I'm talking about setting it on the bow hair between first and second finger. So you make that your contact point. Now I know I've said that before, probably many times. Say I'm on the E string, let's see if I can see it here. Then come in and set it between 1 and 2. Make that a target. You can practice doing that over and over. Also make sure you stay parallel to the bridge, right? One of the things that I've noticed with me is that if I get lazy, and I'll admit I do this, especially when I'm gigging, I'll let that arm sometimes get really low, which is technically bad if you're hanging down here, if you want to get to the frog, right? So a little support under here really frees this up. I'm not saying to stick your elbow way up in the air, and do not shrug your shoulder. It's really important. I have a lot of students that they go to the frog and they'll let that shoulder go up, and you need to make sure, you know, all you have to do is have somebody put their finger on it when you bow and you'll keep it down. It's a really easy thing to fix if someone just puts their finger on top of it. But don't get to the frog by using your shoulder. However, feeling a little bit of support underneath the arm makes it so much easier. So I feel like my arm is floating and I have my contact point. It makes it very easy. Okay, the next thing, let's see. When I went to a summer camp once, this was in Brunswick, Maine, the Broaden Music Festival. This is several decades ago. I studied with Lewis Kaplan, and one day we were sitting in a circle, all of his students, and he went around the circle and he had you stand up and he just picked a scale. All right, you play and he just picked a scale, which was actually pretty scary because at that point I definitely did not have my scales by memory. So after I played, I thought he was going to be critical about it, but he really wasn't. All he said to me was, you know, he said it'd be so much nicer if you started from beyond the frog, and instead of coming like this and setting it down, what he wanted me to do was come from over here and come back to the frog. So I definitely would feel the string and go. It's not like I was moving from the air to bounce or something, but so by going beyond the string, it's so much easier to get to the frog, and it has this grand gesture. It's nice, actually. You should try it and see if it doesn't open your sound up. Okay, I know some teachers that will have the students go really fast on an up bow beyond the string. I've even known some that they'll have them go up and then set the frog on their shoulder, or the adjusting screw on their shoulder, just to get used to using that full bow motion. I will caution you, if you do that, to watch out for this metal, the silver here. If it hooks the E string, you can break a string or just pull that thing right off of the bridge. And so, but the trick or the idea is that by doing that, your arm becomes very loose and relaxed and will naturally find the position. You won't leave your elbow down like this. And then right? And then you would go back and try it a little slower, and then a little slower. Keep it on the string, and then go up and get it right over that contact point between first and second finger. I actually know another teacher who, with his very young students who are just starting to use more bow, he'll have them stick their first finger out and go up and pluck the E string. And that, it makes a lot of racket, but the idea is that they have an actual contact point and they hear it. They have a target, let's put it that way. All right, the last thing I would say, it's in two parts. One is that Galamian used to say on your up bow, at least I think he did, if I remember the video I saw of him teaching, he would have the students slightly roll their wrist away as they went up bow, instead of keeping it flat, which would cause the bow to go over here. So you're rolling your hand slightly away as you go up, that sensation. And that's a good idea to experiment with. I don't do it by keeping the elbow down. The elbow actually comes up and it rolls away. So I get a little bend in the wrist, but the elbow is still nice and high. The other thing about this, is I know a lot of teachers tell their kids to touch the thumb to the hair. That's your starting point, that's your bow hold. And I did that, and I even do that with my little kids, but I do not play all the time with my thumb touching the hair. I think that that's a very rigid approach. Now, it's okay as a starting point because the goal is to teach a curvature here so that then they can learn flexibility. And if you start like this, there's no way they're going to get flexibility later. So I think it's fine saying you should touch hair, but I want you to know that I don't touch the hair all the time. And when I'm going to the frog, say I'm here, coming around here, you see that my thumb is nowhere near touching the hair. If I do touch hair and put on the E string, I have to really raise my wrist or roll my stick away from me, otherwise I'm going to run right into that corner. So by letting the thumb come off the string, I can then get my hand a little higher and make a full contact with the bow hair and get all the way up there. So there's different schools of thought on how you do that. Some say it's from the wrist and you roll away, 3/4 hair at the frog, flat hair at the tip. Some say, oh, we don't flat hair all the time. You just roll the stick a little bit, but you're still making full hair contact. You know, that's not the point of this video. Right now it's just to teach you that there's a point up here where you're going to, or down here in the bow, the lower part of the bow. And you have to be able to get there. If you look at the wear pattern on your hair, some students it's quite a bit higher. So, you know, there's contact point, dirt from your skin, and I think how the dirt is pushed up as you use it too, because it always leans in the same direction, and that's showing where I make my contact point, right? So some things to think about. Using your full bow will give you more power. It's like a singer who wants to use more air behind the note to project better. And you have to be able to get there, but you also have to have control of it so it's not slipping and sliding all over the place. So don't feel like you get to the frog on every bow stroke. If you're new to this, no, you do not. It's just when appropriate. So there's some ideas, and I hope some of that's new. Like I said, I don't know what I said 4 years ago. So anyway, I hope everybody's well. I haven't done too many of these in a long time, so here's a shout out. Take care. See ya.